Hello and welcome to Children's Time. It's good to be with you again this week. This week we're going to hear the story of how Jesus was born, the Christmas story. A long, long time ago, Mary, Jesus' mom, was pregnant with baby Jesus, and she was engaged to a man named Joseph, and they lived in the town called Nazareth. Nazareth was in the Roman Empire. Now, the Roman Empire was really, really big, and it was run by Caesar Augustus, the Roman emperor. And one day he decided that he wanted to count all the people who lived in the Roman Empire. So he sent out an order that every man in the whole empire was supposed to travel back to his family's hometown and be counted for the empire. And so for Joseph, that town was Bethlehem. And that was a little ways away from Nazareth. So Joseph and Mary, even though Mary was pregnant and about to have a baby, they had to travel all the way to Bethlehem. And when they got there, all these people had come to be counted, and so all the guest rooms were taken. There wasn't a place for them to stay. And then they found someone who was willing to let them stay in the room where the animals stayed for the night. And so they were able to gather in there, and Mary had baby Jesus that night. And she wrapped him in cloth, and she laid him in a manger, which is probably where the hay was for the animals to eat. So Jesus had a nice, warm, soft place to sleep for the night. Now, maybe we'd imagine that Jesus, as God come to earth as a human being, would be born in a castle or a fancy house. But that's not what God did. God came to earth and was born as a baby in the room where the animals stayed. And that baby Jesus was a gift for us and for the whole world. See, Jesus came to lead people back to God, to help show people who God is, what God's like, and to let us know that every person is loved and is forgiven and has a place in God's kingdom. And each one of you is a special gift from God too. Each one of you can go and share God's love with other people, and that helps others to get to know who God is too. And so in some way we all have our little part to play in God's kingdom. We get to share the love of God with others. And that's a pretty amazing gift that we're given from God. Will you pray with me? God, who came to be with us on earth in the form of a tiny baby, thank you for the gift of Jesus in our lives. Thank you that we too are gifts to help other people. Help us bring the gift of Jesus and our own gifts to others. Amen. Thank you for joining me on Children's Time. I'll see you again next week.